So what I argued is that there has been a lot of interest in the measurement of opportunities and inequalities of opportunities, and I think it's a good idea, but it also has some challenges and meets some objections, because if you look just at opportunities, then you wonder what happens to the people who fail to seize the opportunities. And so there is a serious concern, and in fact it's so hard to measure opportunities. If you want to implement the idea, you don't really observe all the circumstances that constrain people. And so what I argued is that perhaps instead of just looking at opportunities, it's more interesting or more appealing to look at satisfying people's preferences, looking at what their life, how their life is going, and what dimensions are important for them, and trying to incorporate all these dimensions in a more comprehensive measure of their situation. And so you can do it if you have the good data, of course. So this is work in progress. Some surveys now enable us to estimate the weights they put on different dimensions of life. And ideally, in theory, you could even respect individual preferences. Of course, it's very hard to go to the individual level, but at least we can work with group, subgroup, population levels. And then what you would get is a measure that is something like income corrected for the dimensions of quality of life, and that gives you a comprehensive picture. And you can look at these corrected incomes in terms of the inequalities between these things, and that incorporates the inequalities due to just inequalities in ordinary incomes, but also inequalities in quality of life, access to public goods and infrastructure and so on. Now there are challenges in the implementation of this to developing countries. The prototypes, the studies that have been done so far have been limited to the OECD countries, so it's an interesting challenge to think of extending that to the developing countries, and especially to take into account the inequalities in certain basic services and public goods and infrastructure, which are taken for granted in developed countries, but which are still very much unequally provided in developing countries.